And another hello to you on another warm summer evening. Tim Ostendorf here to talk about, to expand on the variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star that we talked about last night, where I did a 3-soprano retrospective. That's not quite the right word. A comparison of vous, dirai-je, maman. The variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star that were made famous by Mozart in a piano version and then by Adolphe Adam in his opera Le Toreador. But it's more often sung as a frothy little comic concert piece. And everyone knows the melody, of course. And last night I did these videos way too late. I was too tired. So tonight, no cocktails for me. Instead, I'm having a Monster Energy drink. Yeah, that's what I need. A Monster Energy drink. Woohoo! So instead, what I thought would be interesting is to do the actual operatic version that Adolphe Adam wove into his opera Le Toreador, the Toreador. And so we have Coraline, a former opera singer from Paris, and she's unhappily married to the retired bullfighter Don Belflor. She remembers how a flute player, really, Tracolin, was in love with her. And so we have this interesting trio of characters, and she's unhappily married, and of course is a flute player, because that's going to come in handy for this trio, right? And so this is a recording with Sumi Jo, looking lovely in that picture, conducted by Richard Bonning. So there's my Joan Sutherland tie-in. Richard Bonning, Joan Sutherland's husband, still alive, and we have Sumi Jo, John Aler, the tenor, and Michel Trempont. Well, you can see it there, however you pronounce that. And so just to read a little bit from the booklet. Oh, there's Mr. Bonning looking very handsome, before we get to the music. So let's see. Subtlety, wit, and illusion, or more generally, the use of music to add further dimensions of meaning and take the place of words. These ingredients are present even in Coraline's variations on vous, dirai-je, maman. Dirai-je, maman. Strictly, they are variations not only for Coraline, but for Tracolin, Don Belflor, and the ubiquitous flute as well. And each variation tells us something more about the particular performer vis-a-vis the others. Coraline begins by singing the melody in its pristine simplicity, but even at this point she is really conveying a message to Tracolin, telling him that she cannot live without him as her lover. When, however, she proceeds to elaborate upon her feelings, i.e. embroider the melody, her performance no longer appeals to Belflor, so Tracolin offers to supply the variations with his flute. How convenient, right? While Coraline reverts briefly to the simple melody. The variations reach their most elaborate when Belflor, who once used to play the double bass, of course, joins in with a pom-pom imitatory, that just doesn't sound right, imitative? He imitates an accompaniment line. I should have read that ahead of time, right? So anyway, here we have Sumi Jo at her most lovely and her most pristine. Her singing has always excited me, especially when she was younger. Her recording of Le Contorie as the Comtesse Adèle is one of my absolute favorites. But this was done, back in, I think, the late 1998. And so this is interesting to hear. The other voices take some of the lines that we heard some of the other sopranos sing, like Silz and Gruberova and Frida Hempel. So here we have, in context of Le Toreador, we have the variations on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
C'est charmant, je comprends parfaitement. Ce motif est charmant, oui c'est très ravissant. Plus de l'âme de la femme, c'est lui qui fait son tourment. Je devine, j'imagine, non, il faut qu'un amant. Oui, cet air est charmant, Je vais l'entendre souvent, très souvent, et souvent me dire, moi, ma chère enfant. Oui, c'est elle, et charmant. Oui, c'est elle, dis-le, ma chère enfant. Oui, c'est elle, et charmant. Son motif entraînant produit le sentiment du temps. J'aime son mouvement, berçant mollement. J'aime son mouvement, vous berçant mollement. Il est également expressif et élégant. Le cœur passe seulement à l'entendre.
So isn't that interesting to hear the different lines that you normally just hear the soprano singing, sung by the tenor and the bass in this particular recording, which I think is quite lovely. It's a variation on the variations of the variations. The original variations. Well, not quite the original, because it was originally some French song written a long time ago. But anyway, and I can't believe I didn't do this last night, but maybe I did have... shouldn't have had that second martini, huh? But there's an old poem, and I looked it up on the web, and I don't know who originally wrote it. You know, the Starkle, Starkle, Little Twink. Well, I guess there's different variations on that particular little silly little thing. The way my mother taught it to me when I was a kid, it was Starkle, Starkle, Little Twink. Who the heck you are, I think. I'm not under the alkafluence of alcohol. I've only had too many martinis. But I guess there's a lot of variations on that. So anyway, that's what how she taught it to me. So how could I not, with doing our little Twinkle Twinkle tune, how couldn't I do that, right? Back to Le Toreador.
C'est lui qui cause son tourment. Oui, c'est moi qui suis glissant.
I'm back. Had to let Monty and my dog.
Bravo, bravo, non pas vraiment, cela ne peut me plaire. Pardon, j'aime mieux notre manière. Écoutez-moi seulement, je vais vous chanter l'air sans aucun agrément. Je le crois, ce sera tout simplement.
And I think that Sumi Jo, she's just her voice is perfect on this recording, almost as exciting as that Le Contori Rossini recording, and one could see why Bonnie sort of took her under his wing and recorded quite a bit with her when she was young, and not quite in the Joan Sutherland mold, but just there's that crystal. It's crystal clear, and quite lovely indeed. Oh, there's Monty. Monty, you're back. Hello. There he is. There's my pooch. So he was barking to come in, so that's why I had to leave a moment ago. All right, back to Sumi Jo and her friends.
Vous dirai-je, maman, c'est cela.
C'est pour les...
C'est charmant.
Vraiment, c'est affreux.
C'est vraiment, c'est très bien.
C'est
Pour vous mettre d'accord à l'accommodement, vous allez chanter d'abord tout simplement. Moi je me chargerai de l'accompagnement. Je broderai sur l'air, chacun sera content. Vous broderez avec ce petit instrument
Just happened to bring up my flute. I never get tired of that. I don't know why. Charmant, charmant, charmant. Charming, charming, charming. And the only thing that I can say about Sumi Jo is sometimes the top notes are just a little on the thin side. I'm so used to the full richness of a Joan Sutherland. But I don't know if I'll ever get around to playing her Comtesse Adèle from La Conterie because I don't have many to compare it with. I think I have a couple recordings of it. That would have been a perfect role for Beverly Sills. It's not a particularly long role, but the aria and then a couple of the duets and then the trio, you have to look up that. If you didn't see the telecast with the German Diana Damhau and the mezzo my mind is going out, and then the tenor Flores, is that his name, and Joyce Di Donato. Sorry Joyce, don't know you, but I'm sorry, love you. We have a lot of friends in common, actually. But anyway, that is well worth seeking out. They released it on DVD, and just the trio alone in the second act is, it's delicious. But anyway, so that was Sumi Jo in the operatic version, set in Adolphe Adam's Le Toreador. So give you the full range of that particular thing. So there you go. I'm going to go back to having some more of my energy drink. Woohoo! And other than that, we'll see you soon. Tim Ostendorf signing off. Next time, maybe back to Little Joan Sutherland, don't you think? It's been a while since I've played my favorite dame. Because there's nothing like a dame. You knew I was going to say that at some point, didn't you? I can't believe I actually haven't said that the whole time I've been doing all these videos, huh? Pretty strange. Alright, have a good day.